Good morning to all of you. This is Vijay Kumar M. Borati, Associate Professor of English, University Evening College, University of Mysore. This is a presentation on the topic Ecocriticism. This is going to be an introductory lecture. And this lecture is part of literary theory for the 6th semester BA students of University of Mysore. A note of advice is in order. The following lecture is largely based on Peter Barre's beginning theory. That means the lecture has borrowed ideas from his book. So the presenter of the lecture does not claim an exhaustive or authoritative account of ecocriticism. The presenter also expects the readers and the viewers to refer other books on the topic for more knowledge and information. At the outset, let us know the meaning of ecocriticism in simple words. Ecocriticism is the study of relationship between literature and physical environment. Physical environment means physical nature around us. Ecocriticism is also known by another name, green studies. Probably this word is used more widely in the UK, while ecocriticism is widely known in the USA circles. However, both are critical approaches. We can say that these approaches began in the USA in 1980s. The founder of ecocriticism is Cheryl Glotfelty. She is a professor of literature and the environment at the University of Nevada, Reno. In fact, ecocriticism has become a movement. Many activists, environmentalists, and statesmen are involved in this movement. Still, this kind of critical approach does not have a set of doctrines or procedures. The word ecocriticism was first used by William Rockert's essay. This was in 1978. But the first usage, according to Peter Barre, in literary criticism happened in Karl Kroeber's essay in 1974. Later, the term was popularized or revived by Cheryl Glotfelty. Earlier name for ecocriticism or ecological study was study of nature writing. Generally, 3 American writers are considered as major force behind nature writing or ecocriticism. A common thread that binds all these 3 American writers is a glorious impression about nature. These writers celebrate nature as life force and they write about wilderness in America. These 3 writers are Ralph Waldo Emerson, Margaret Feller, and Henry David Thoreau. All these 3 American writers are known as New England writers, who are also known by the other name Transcendentalists. Before I proceed further, let me explain what do we mean by transcendentalist. A transcendentalist is generally considered as a part of a philosophical school called Transcendentalism. This philosophical school believes in self-reliance, intuition, and independence. It was heavily influenced by the European Romantic movement and Eastern religious texts. However, these three American eco-critics proclaim cultural independence from European models of eco-criticism. In fact, these three writers are considered as foundational stones of American criticism. Emerson's writing Nature, which appeared in 1836, is about the impact on him by natural world, which was powerful, and it contains a dramatic narration of the powerful impact of nature on him. Feller's Summer on the Lakes, which appeared in 1843, gives an account of her encounter with American landscape. Another important transcendentalist, David Henry Thoreau's Walden, which is world famous, gives an account of 2 years of stay from his house in 1845. The book narrates the life of Thoreau in a hut built by him on the shores of Walden Pond. His experiences in the book are a classic case of life out of modern life and search for return to nature. There is another school of eco-criticism. This school is different from American eco-criticism. Generally, this school is traced to the UK-based eco-criticism. Peter Barry points out that this UK-based eco-criticism was inspired by British Romanticism of the late 18th century. It has less to do with American Transcendentalism of the 1840s. The founder of the UK School of Eco-Criticism is considered as Jonathan Bate. He is the author of an article called Romantic Ecology, Wordsworth and the Environmental Tradition. Another great scholar, theoretician and critic, Raymond Williams, that is a famous Marxist, book called The Country and the City, is a seminal work of eco-criticism in the United Kingdom. The United Kingdom eco-critics preferably use green studies instead of eco-criticism to refer their works. Let us now know more about the salient features of eco-criticism. Eco-critics are generally interested in rereading or studying major literary works from an eco-centric perspective or dimension. They pay more attention to how natural world is illustrated or pictured in literary works. They give importance to those writers who highlight nature as a major part of subject matter. And these writers can be American Transcendentalists or British Romantics or the poetry of John Clare or the works of Thomas Hardy or Georgian poets of early 20th century. The eco-critics study different forms of writings such as essays, travel writings, memoirs, and regional literatures. They are the source of information, details, or descriptions about nature and its contemporary condition for the eco-critics. The eco-critics lay greater emphasis on meticulous observation on ecocentric values in the literary or social science works. They also show interest in understanding how collective ethical responsibility is expressed in literary works or social science literatures. Especially, this is directed at understanding how ethical responsibility is expressed towards nature and its many forms. Here is a glimpse of the title of the book written by Henry David Thoreau. Another feature of ecocriticism is that the ecocritics reject the theory of everything is socially and linguistically constructed or textualized. The ecocritics believe that nature really exists, it affects us, and get affected by humans. So they think that everything in nature is not constructed or imagined out of our mind. There are certain things in nature which really exist, and they are visible, and they are very much influenced by the activities of human beings. However, the ecocritics do not justify the inequality in the name of nature proposed by literary writers in the name of nature. For instance, Peter Barry quotes C.F. Alexander's children hymn, wherein nature is seen as the creation of God, and God has created inequality between the rich and the poor. Such justifications in the works of literary writers is rejected or dismissed by the ecocritics. They think that nature can be used to understand cultural or social elements as portrayed in the picturization of nature in their works. In the larger canvas of nature writings, Peter Barry points out 4 areas of nature and its portrayal. The first area is called the wilderness. In this, we see picturization or illustration of deserts, oceans, unlived continents. The second area is called scenic sublime. In such illustrations, we find forests, lakes, mountains, cliffs, waterfalls being illustrated in the writings. Area 3 constitutes the countryside, that is, hills, fields, woods are part of the countryside. In the fourth area, domestic picturesque illustration is given. For instance, parks, gardens, or lanes. While the first area is pure nature, fourth area is predominantly cultural. What does it mean? It means that humans have created parks or gardens or lanes according to their tastes and traditions. Generally, areas 1 and 2 become setting for major epics. In the epics, we find portrayal of relationship between humans and cosmic forces. These cosmic forces can be the fate, destiny, deity of human beings. The most important examples that come under area 1 and 2 are John Milton's famous book Paradise Lost, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, and Herman Melville's Moby Dick. Now, eco-criticism is not without criticisms or limitations. The most important points that the eco-critics should concentrate are: there is no universal model of eco-criticism. That means the eco-critics cannot claim that their theorization or understanding of nature or natural phenomena or human activities in relation to nature are universal or relevant for everybody every time. The eco-critics should also consider thinking of real and constructedness of nature for their holistic viewpoint. Otherwise, their views or their theorization of nature in the practices of eco-criticism may become limited or constricted. Thank you, listeners and viewers, for watching and listening to this lecture. Please refer other books or literatures on eco-criticism so that your knowledge about eco-criticism can be fuller and comprehensive. Thank you one and all again.